I work for Keep Homes Tidy, and I don't know if you know anything about Keep Homes Tidy. We're a national organisation. I'm based in Wrexham, North East Wales. I'm project officer for Wrexham in North East Wales, but I'm also senior project officer for Keep Homes Tidy in the north as well. And we're quite lucky in Keep Homes Tidy because we've got someone, often one or two staff members in each county, so we're quite actively involved with community groups in the heart of communities right across Wales. I'll just give you a bit of a background on Keep Homes Tidy and where we are as an organisation. I don't know if you know the Eco Schools as well. We run the Eco Schools. We've got education officers go around the schools, and it is the largest teacher-student network in the world. It's 50 million students, and Wales leads the way in many respects with Eco Schools. We've got high take-up of schools in Wales that are part of that project as well. Blue Flag, unfortunately, Wrexham's a landlocked county, and this is one project that I'm not actively involved with, but we've got project officers, skilled, trained project officers that go around and survey beaches as well to see if they're up to the Blue Flag standard as well. Bit more Keep Homes Tidy work. We do the green flags for parks as well. You may have seen the big green flags either in a community garden or a community allotment, often in local authority parks as well. So we've got trained staff. About roughly half of our staff are trained to judge and just to give the accreditation for green flag status as well. This slide's a little bit an year old, I think. I think we're up to touching 200 parks in Wales now that have a green flag status. So the reason why I've given a bit of background on Keep Homes Tidy is, I'll talk about Long Forest, the sort of the hedgerow project in a few minutes, but we've got wide reach, if you like, into sort of communities across Wales with, you know, anything from sort of hedge laying to sort of biodiversity work to access work. We work a lot with communities, repairing footpaths. I do a lot of work with community gardens across Wrexham, you know, working with groups such as old age pensioners groups, drug and alcohol recovery groups, community groups, residents groups, schools, all these parks, and you know, it makes a massive difference. I've been working for Keep Homes Tidy now for possibly 10 years. I think it is 10 years this September, actually, this month. And I see the change in working with long-term unemployed people who are recovering from either drug and alcohol or health issues. They often lose that confidence, that self-esteem. You know, it can happen to anyone. I've seen it happen to my family members and friends. You go off grid for even 6 months and you lose those vital skills. And voluntary working in the community is a brilliant way to get back out there, really. So that's where I come from my Keep Homes Tidy work. I work 2 days a week on this sort of projects, sometimes 3. But with Long Forest, which I'm going to talk about now, I work for 3 days a week. I'm the North Wales project coordinator. The South Wales project coordinator's on maternity leave, and someone's just replaced her now, so I've come down the north. That's why I'm here now from North Wales. But it's a project with the Heritage Lottery Fund, and we're in partnership with the Woodland Trust, and we've had some funding from Esmith Fairbairn as well. Now, target is, it is an all Wales project, but we are focusing, and this is so easy to remember when you do sort of public talks. It's the 4 corners of Wales, really. So North East Wales, where I'm from, Anglesey, Pembrokeshire, and Monmouthshire. These are the areas where actually the practical work on the ground, the planting, the hedge laying, the working with various groups to repair hedgerows. These are the areas. But it is an all Wales project, and I'll talk a bit further on about all the work we're doing with surveying, historical research projects. We've developed an app for surveying hedgerows as well, and I'll talk a bit further on about that a bit later on. The first thing I had to do last year was establish tree nurseries. We've got a target of planting 100,000 trees in the next, the project's 3 years long. We're effectively a year into the project now, so we've planted 44,000 already, to be honest. But we had to establish community tree nurseries to receive these trees from the Woodland Trust. They're all of local provenance for those particular areas, so the Anglesey trees will be the correct provenance for that part of the world, likewise North East Wales as well. I'm working here with a group from Hrill with drug and alcohol recovery. So we've absolutely loved doing stuff like this. You can just see the change it makes, with groups. You're getting your hands dirty, getting close to nature. We're working quite closely with these groups as well, the tree nurseries, in collecting seeds, propagating seeds. We've supplied polytunnels, irrigation systems, so that the volunteers are evolved from the onset. There's a bit of an insurance for Long Forest Tea as well. In fact, we want the project to continue when the funding stops in March 2020, really. So we're skilling up groups, various parts of Wales, to gain the skills in regards to sort of propagating trees, growing trees, planting trees, hedge laying, etc. Now the projects themselves. Being Heritage Lottery Fund, we just can't plant a hedge for the sake of planting a hedge, even though there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the greatest thing in the world is to plant a hedge. There has to be a reason, there has to be a narrative why we do that. We have to be able to tell a story effectively. I work in Wrexham, and I came across this site a year ago, Holt. Holt is right on the English border. You could probably throw a stone into England, so it only just applies to Long Forest. These are all 64 plots of land, if you like, with tenants who pay money to the local trust, Holt Town Trust, who take the money and put it back into the community. It sends sick children to hospital if they need to go. It sends people on holiday. It even pays for people's university bills, and it basically buys flowers for the village. It's that kind of fund. What's great about Holt is it's non-intensively farmed. There's no need for us. Obviously, if you plant a hedge and there's a livestock, you need to put a fence in either side possibly, and it triples the cost. We don't have to do that. It is an actual planting scheme that we've got the dates for to 1848. We've even got the names of the people who planted, how much the trees cost, where they were planted and what density. If I had to sit down and come up with a brilliant project for Heritage Lottery Fund, Long Forest, it would be this. If this was a desk exercise to make your own Long Forest project, it would be this. I can just go ahead. This is where we are at now. It's basically the whole landscape's a medieval landscape with this mid-19th century sort of hedgerow system put into place. So, being HLF, my initial plans were to replace, by the way, when it was planted in 1848, it was planted 100% hawthorn. And I had the crazy idea that I would enrich the habitat. I would put, at least 5 or 6 different species in, sure enough, hawthorn, 60%, blackthorn, maybe 10, hazel, and the like. But no, HLF said you have to replace like for like. Okay, there's 2 types of project with HLF, with Long Forest. There's one for biodiversity, where we plant for a specific species, or there's one for heritage. Of course, this system here, this hedgerow system which we're recreating and replanting here, it will benefit biodiversity there, because we're effectively planting thick native hedgerows. So we've got cracking this year. We've been working with local schools, colleges, local health charities as well, and we've planted 8 hedgerow lines in the first year. One of our volunteers has got a drone, and it just shows you the extent of the system and what we've done. If you notice, there's a lot of water there, and basically the place there's a lot of clay there, and with the dry summer we've had these. The quickest way possible to plant a tree is to put a spade in the ground, put it in, squeeze it together. But obviously these have opened, and being a clay as well, these have opened. We may have lost about 15-20% of the trees. They just died with the holes open, but there you go. Of course, what I haven't failed to mention in a project like this as well, we've had hundreds of volunteers help us with this. There was a lot of site preparation beforehand as well. We had to dig up bramble and wild rose to clear the area so we can plant. There we go. That's a heritage project we're doing. This is one we're doing in Anglesey, and someone spoke earlier on about linking woodlands for red squirrels. It's effectively what we're doing in Anglesey. We started in Plasnelwydd, which is a National Trust property on the south of the island there, southeast island, and we're effectively linking woodlands, rough areas of ground copses, old railway cuttings for red squirrels. We've taken advice from the Trust, the Red Squirrel Trust in Anglesey, and effectively this is because they were worried about isolated pockets of red squirrel in the island, effectively on islands. It's an aspiration, obviously, to link all the habitats. We're not going to build a hedge, We're not going to plant a hedge 20 odd miles long or 50 miles long, wherever it is across the bottom of the land. We're going to effectively link habitats across. And we're working quite closely with the National Trust, the RSPB, local authority, the AONB as well. That's a massive project as well. We've got training and support volunteers. This is a project we had down in Monmouthshire, again linking woodlands, helping key bird species, key mammals, small mammal species as well. We've got accredited training as well, which is crucial again for the longevity of the project and the continuity after we've finished. We're training volunteers who come out maybe 2 or 3 times with it. We just don't, train anyone, that turns up for the Lantra qualification. This one took place in Coleg and Llyfon, just outside Caernarfon. The first year, we've worked with 1,200 volunteers, 4,624 volunteer hours. We've improved nearly 14 kilometres of hedge already. When I say improve, what we've done is we've gapped up, or we've laid hedge. See, there's 100 metres of hedge, and there's a gap of 15 metres in the middle. We've gapped up that 15 metres, and we're including the whole 100 metres in our calculations. Effectively, we've re-established that broken link, bearing in mind that a lot of these are linking woodlands and linking waterways, etc., which is really important. Management plans as well. All of our projects have 10-year management plans put in. So there's staggered cutting regimes, there's when to cut, how to cut, etc. Great thing about Holt as well is that there's no livestock, as I said, and they just cut it for silage twice in a year. And they leave a good metre and a half grassy strip along the side as well. So you've got that great habitat for nesting birds as well, farmland birds. We've got landowner training as well. We're busy right across the world with landowner training. We've got a target of 120 over the next 2 years now, because we're a year in. We've done 60 so far. This is again at Caernarfon, Coleg and Llyfon. This is down at St Clears, where we got great turn up and great interest from farmers wanting to know how to plant a tree. I thought I knew how to plant a tree, I have to be honest, but I went on a day's course in so many different ways. There were where to site the tree, how to look after the tree, how to look out for tree diseases, how to care for trees. There's a lot more to it, really. We developed an app as well. This is an early version, and you can download this now free as well, English and Welsh as well. It is an all-Wales project. The delivery of the project is in those 4 corners, the practical delivery, the work on the ground, but we're going to survey hundreds of kilometres of Welsh hedgerow as well. This is an early version. I couldn't get a video of the latest version, but that's available to download now if you've got a phone. But that's a really good way of. It's based on the Higgs method. Yeah, brilliant. I'll just shoot off on that one. Historical. This is one particularly close to me. I love this sort of thing. We're also doing historical hedgerow research in North East Wales. We're doing Flintshire medieval boundary in Flint itself, Anglesey. I'll just move on. The one in Flint is interesting. You can overlay old OS maps with modern 125,000 maps, and you can see where the old hedgerows and where they've been lost and where they are. And taking advice from the Archaeological Trust, we're working with local schools, local community groups, again local health charities to survey. I don't know if you can see, this is a medieval 13th, 14th century hedgerow system in Flint, just like Flint, northeast, Flintshire, northeast Wales. But these green tendrils are the remnants of that original ancient hedgerow system in a modern housing estate. And so we'll be surveying then for biodiversity, types of trees there, hopefully getting the community as well to repair those hedges, plant those hedges, lay those hedges, working with the local community. Very, very important for Long Forest to do that. But those are the projects I'm really looking forward to. We've got a hedgerow information pack as well, which we're handing out to landowners. It's got all you need to know about laying a hedge, managing your hedge. I've rushed through it a bit quicker than I meant to, but there you go. Social media as well. Again, this slide's a few months old. It should be. We've got a lot more followers than that now. And that's it. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very much.